Welcome back to a new episode here in SUALVI. In today's episode, as you might have read in the title, I'm going to show you 4 or 5 quick sort of like transitions that you can make in the edit page without having to go into Fusion or anything of that. Of course, it's not going to look as cool as the transitions that you can make in Fusion and then put it on here, but it does, at least it's something, so yeah, so it's like a start. Anyway, so in case, just letting you know also that the SUALVI Transitions THEIA is about to come out, maybe this week, hopefully on Wednesday if everything goes right. But without further ado, let's just get started right away. So for the first transition that you have seen in the video, what we are going to do is it's sort of like a flicker effect transition, right? So the way to do this is pretty easy. You're gonna go here and put one clip right on top of the other one, and we're gonna go 2 frames for the first one. We're gonna go, let me just deactivate this one for now so it doesn't get cut. 2 more frames on these, then 2 more, whoop, it did get cut. 2 more frames, and we're gonna do 6 in total of 2 frames. Do we have 6 there? This one has 3, but it doesn't really matter, so it's fine. And then after we have that, we're gonna get rid of the ones in between. Gonna put this right here, get it there. And then the next ones are gonna be, the next 6 are going to be of 1 keyframe. And then we're gonna do the same thing again, selecting the ones in between. Whoop, not that first one. In between, and then we're gonna drag them a little bit. Why is it so hard to select them? There it goes. We're gonna drag them right here. So that adds that cool flicker effect that we did there. And if you have a song that goes with the beat, so that if flicker goes with the beat, it will look even cooler. Okay, let's jump right into the second one. For the second effect, what we did was sort of like a slide transition, but this one is not as smooth as the one in Fusion, but you can do it and it works sort of like fine still, right? So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna create a position keyframe for this one, and we're also gonna create a position keyframe for the clip below. Then we're gonna go, let's go 6 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this one, the one on the top, we're gonna drag out all the way out, and the total is gonna be like minus 2000 probably there. And then here we're gonna create another keyframe and then go back to the beginning. We're gonna put 1000 on the position of that one, of the clip below. So now when you press play, it looks like it's dragging at the same time. If we want it to be more smooth, let's try putting 2000 in this one. Maybe it will look a little bit cooler. There it goes. It looks a little bit more up to speed, so they both have the same speed. And if you really want, you can add some effects like blurring and all that stuff here too. I'm not gonna do that now. You can play around with that if you want, but that's the basic of that transition. That was number 2, and you can do these from any direction that you want. Okay, let's jump to number 3. For the third transition, where is it? Here. For the third transition, what we're gonna do is, let me just cut these and make it come closer. There it goes. For this transition, we're gonna go to the effects library. We're gonna grab the effects tab here, and we're gonna add an adjustment clip. We're gonna cut it, and then we're gonna make sure that we have maybe 10 frames in each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put it there. We can do the same here. Make it small like that. Then on top, on this adjustment clip, we're gonna go to the open effects here, and we're gonna look for the camera shake effect. We're gonna put it in here, and on the camera shake effect, the adjustment layer. With the adjustment layer selected, we're gonna go here to open effects on the top, and these things are what affect the shaking. So motion scale, speed scale is the speed that the scale is going. The motion is the amount of like movement that the shake will have. The lower is it has, the less movement it has. So the higher you put it, the more movement it's gonna have. I don't know if you can put, yeah, 2 is the maximum. And then the blur, as the name says, blur, it's as how blurry the shaking gets. Then a bunch of things. The pan altitude is how much it moves from the side. The tilt, it's how much it moves from top to bottom. Rotation is how much it rotates. It doesn't do a full rotation, but it adds a little bit. Then the PTR speed is the pan, tilt, and rotation amplitude. So this is how fast all of these act together. The lower it gets, the slower it's gonna be. So let's just add it like right in the middle around there. Zoom is if you wanted to zoom in or out, like zoom a little bit. And then the speed. And these one are the options that you have: zoom in, zoom out, or both of them. And you can add that there. But then one thing that we have right here is these black lines. The way to solve that is you're gonna go here, down here, with this blanking handling. You're gonna go to border type and select any of these. We're gonna do with reflect. That seems to work best for now. And you can also play around with these other options. I like to put on the one in the intro, I take the pause out, so it's sort of like a constant movement thing. And then you can play around with the randomness like that. And then that is pretty much it. One thing that if you're having trouble with playing it back, because it's a GPU intensive effect, you can select all of them and create a compound clip and then render it. And after that is rendered, the clip is gonna look a little bit more smoother in your playback screen. And if that is not enough, you might have to just wait until you render your video. It's gonna render the same, it's gonna render fine, and then you're gonna have to be able to check it on the final like file that was exported if you're not able to preview it right in DaVinci. So basically what these does is adds like an effect. Like here you see it's lagging because I'm recording and all that stuff right now. But the more shake and blurriness you have, the more cool it's going to look transitioning between two clips. You get the idea. I'm not gonna wait for the whole thing to render right now. So let me just show you the next effect. For the next effect, I just had an idea, and then I use the cropping here that you have provided by DaVinci, right? And on the clip that's on top, what we're gonna do is you can use any direction. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to crop right and make it 1920, so all the way to the side. And then we're gonna create a keyframe right at the beginning. And then we're gonna go to the softness and make it all the way to -100, and also add a keyframe. What we do next is we're gonna do one step ahead with a keyframe, and then we're gonna play with these and do it a bunch of times, sort of like a I don't know what you could call this, sort of like a I'm in and out, I'm in and out, I'm coming, I'm not really, sort of like a faking the movement. And we're gonna do a couple of things depending of how much you want to do it, and then it doesn't really matter, you can go as much as you want there. And then on the last frame we're gonna get this softness all the way back to, you can go 0 or you can go 100. Let's just go to 0. And then when that renders, it's gonna add that sort of like a butterfly effect. It's an interesting effect. I don't know if you could, maybe if you have a video that has a lot of lights and like a club sort of video, that would look decent, I guess. Yeah, so that was that one. And then the next one is the fourth one, which was sort of like a zoom effect, in mixing it with the fade. So for that, we're gonna use this fade out arrow that we have here, and we're gonna bring it all the way to the beginning. We make sure we cut it here, and then we're gonna create a zoom keyframe. Then we're gonna go to the end of our clip, and we're gonna press like 3000. Not 3003. I'm sorry. And then one other thing that we had was here, the clip below. We're we're gonna go and cut it. You don't have to cut it if you don't want, but we can create a keyframe right here and then go back to the beginning and make the zoom like 1.5. So now when you're zooming, the clip below is also having sort of like a little bit of a movement, and it doesn't look that that sharp of like a transition zoom, right? So it's like a sort of like a zoom fade. One other thing that you can add it to is if you go here, you can see your arrows, right? If you zoom in a little bit more, you're gonna get the options right here that allow you to see these handles that you can move around and play around with. And if you can play around with these and add sort of like, oops, not that. You can play around with these and make the effect a little bit more, what do you say, more agile, I guess, like a little more jumpy, like that. There it goes. So yeah, and those were the 5 effects that you can do in the edit tab, 5 transition effects that you can do in the edit tab or within the edit tab in DaVinci Resolve without having to go all the way into Fusion to create cool transitions. They do not look as cool as the transitions that are made in Fusion, but if you just want to do something real quick and you don't have any Fusion transitions that you can use, if you don't have any, you can download the demo of the THEIA transitions pack. Plug. Yeah, so anyways, that is pretty much it. And yeah, I hope that you got some new ideas of the things that you can do in DaVinci Resolve, and you don't have to be stuck into going into Fusion to add notes and stuff if you're not comfortable with notes and all that stuff yet. You can do these easily within the edit page here in DaVinci Resolve. Without further ado, I just want to thank you for watching. If you did watch all the way till the end, I hope to see you in the next video, which is gonna be Wednesday. It's gonna be free Wednesday. I don't know yet what the freebie is going to be, so if you have any cool ideas of what you want, maybe an animated title or anything else, let me know down in the comments, because I really could use some inspiration for the freebie Wednesday. And for the 3rd time or 4th time, I just want to say bye bye, and I hope to see you in the next video here in SUALVI.